Hey everyone, I'm Paolo and welcome to Spoonful of Paolo. Today, we have a very special episode because I am going to be sitting down talking with the one and only legendary and iconic Gloria Estefan. I'm so excited, you guys. There's going to be so much to talk about, including her amazing music career and her new film on HBO Max, Father of the Bride. So, I'll see you guys with Gloria. You ready? Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I've been waiting decades for this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I want to start by saying, first of all, thank you, Gloria Estefan, for allowing us to be here. You know, when we took an Uber coming here, I said to my husband, Patrick, are you nervous? And he said, a little. And then he said, how are you? I said, I'm just full with gratitude.
Oh.
I'm full with gratitude that you allow us to come here where I say magic happens, you know? So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Oh, and we welcome you and congratulations
Thank
on all your success. I saw your shows and you're incredible.
Oh my God.
So thank you for coming all this way for us.
I don't care if you were in Kentucky where I would come find you, okay?
Kentucky, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yes, it would be interesting. And I want to say congratulations to you on your iconic film, Father of the Bride, for it being the #1 title across HBO Max. That is amazing.
It was awesome. So happy.
I know. When your longtime friend and co-star, Andy Garcia, when he texted you and he said, hey, I'm going to be sending you over a script, could you ever imagine that it would lead you to this moment where it's going to be your first leading role in a movie and that this movie was going to be such a huge hit?
You know what? No, but I trust Andy's taste, and I knew that if he was sending it, it was going to be something magical. However, when I saw the title, Father of the Bride, I go, oh my gosh, this is an iconic film.
Oh my God.
This script better be incredible or we're in trouble. And it was. When I read the script, I fell in love with it. And then Gaz Al-Azraqi, the director, so many coincidences that aren't really coincidences, right? Because right before Andy texted me, I had been looking for stuff to watch with my grandson, and we watched The Father of the Bride, the Steve Martin one, and then we watched the original one because I wanted him to see, not knowing that this was going to come my way. Then I watched Nosotros los Nobles, this amazing film that I loved so much that I actually Googled the director and said, who did this? Because the film was so incredible. Then I get a call from Gaz, I want you in the film. And I thought, well, you want me to audition? He goes, no, we want you for the film. Andy says that there's no other person that can do this.
Wow, and they're
with
so
him.
right. But they're so right. We waited 31 years for this remake, and let me tell everyone, it is worth the wait because this Latino cast is bigger than life itself. In the movie, everyone is just brings it on. It's so brilliant, really. So I was so excited when I watched it with my family. We're like, this is so good. And Gloria, girl, it was you're good in it, okay?
Thank you so much. You know, we were like a family for real.
And your daughter played the younger
My
you
daughter
in the
played.
beginning.
It wasn't my idea, by the way.
Wow.
Gaz called me after we had already signed on and we were about to shoot. And they go, look, we want a young Gloria, but we really want your daughter. And I thought, oh my gosh, because she really tries to stay out of my lane. So she wants her own thing. And I go, but Mama, you're not playing with me, you're playing me. So that's a different thing, you know? And she was thrilled. I mean,
my God.
when I saw, because I hadn't seen the final edit, so we were in the theater seeing the premiere. And I see her face on that screen. First thing, as a mom, I was like, oh my God. And she did an amazing job. She really is a good actor.
She looked beautiful. Yeah, she really, oh my God.
She's been working on it. And Andy, we've been friends for 30 years.
Yeah, a long time, I know.
Although I did ship my husband out of state.
When they had that kissing, because I know that's the only guy that you've ever kissed besides obviously your husband.
In 47 years.
Emilio, where are you?
He tells everybody that he had to kiss Andy first to make sure that it was going to be okay.
I love when you say about Emilio, when you say like, why do you have to eat a hamburger when you have the filet mignon at home?
Absolutely.
It just really describes the relationship.
It is.
I loved in the movie how it opens up with you, your character Ingrid, in therapy with Billy, because right there and then you get a fresh take on this movie that you're like, this is going to be really fresh and new and you're just going to love it. And I was thinking, my God, if Ingrid and Billy wanted to come to the Red Table Talk with the Estefans. So they're like, you know what? We got to go see Gloria because, hello, I mean, like, she studied psychologist. You wanted to be a therapist, you know, and you've been married for almost 44 years.
Yes.
So if they came to the Red Table and they said, Gloria, are you without me? Are you? What would you say? What advice would you give them?
Okay, first of all, it is so, we would have done a much better job than that therapist. Especially in over a year.
I know.
I would have called him on his stuff, you know. Latin men have trouble with therapy.
Yeah.
So I would have first tried to make them feel comfortable in the fact that, hey, it's just a conversation. We're just having, you know, a chill talk. Because immediately they get on, you know, really guarded.
Yeah.
But I knew that Ingrid really did not want a divorce, and I know that. But she's trying to wake him up and saying, well, if a year of therapy, you know, he went to therapy, but therapy did not go through him.
Yeah, it didn't go through him. Yeah.
And she's trying to wake him up. So I would have gone to that angle and say, well, you know, think about what you're doing and whatnot. And she did in a way, and that's what's beautiful about the film, that he wakes up eventually, but he needed like a strict lesson.
Yes, he
needed to
did.
be whooped.
Yeah, and you gave him a couple of whoops. No, it was, but in a nice PG way.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
And some of the stuff that didn't get into the movie, I wish.
I could imagine. I could only imagine.
We could have made 5 movies.
Oh my God!
Different movies.
You know, speaking of the Red Table Talk, the Estefans, I just want to say a thank you to you and your family, because the episode that you all did on grief, because you know you lost your beloved mom. It's just been 5 years now, 5 years ago, and I sent it to my siblings because, as you know, I lost my mom earlier this year.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Gloria. And then I rewatched it with my father just a couple weeks ago, and it was very beautiful the way you and your family came together, because it was so raw and real. So I thank you guys for that. How are you doing today? 5 years later, does it get a little bit easier, or do you have your moments?
Look, of course it gets easier, but it took me a good solid 2 years to climb out of that hole. And for the first time in my life, I needed therapy. I looked for a therapist because I needed some way to access, you know, that amount of loss. And it was unexpected because she was doing great.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that happens. We spent 33 days in the hospital with her. I think that her spirit almost did that for my sisters and my benefit, just to get us used to the idea of her having to go, because she was just heading downhill, and it gets to a moment where you don't want her to suffer. So that process was important, because I don't know how we would have done if she would have passed away on that day, which is what was supposed to happen. They brought her back, and you know, she survived the infections and the things, but ultimately it was her time, and a 4th infection took her down. She still messages me in different ways.
Wow.
And I don't want people to think I'm crazy, because I have proof.
Not crazy.
But my mom texted me almost a year after she passed. I have the text on my phone. It came from her AOL account, her email account, which no one could have accessed. I eventually found her password on her birthday the following year, like of 18, because I wanted to go in there and see how could she have sent this to me. I was in London, and I kept getting a message that I couldn't. I go, but I checked all my messages, and then I found that unknown component on the phone that I didn't even know was there. And when I look, it said Hola Gloria, February 12th of 2018. She passed away June 13th of 17. You can't explain it. I got into the account. There was nothing. I checked every junk folder, every sent folder, How can that happen? And I think their energy. She turns lights on and off for me. Whenever there's an important occasion, she makes her presence known. And I feel her close to me. So now I can step away. I don't know if I was supposed to be doing an album the week she went into the hospital. It took me a year to be able to sing again. I just could not. For the life of me.
So 60 album, you put
it
that
will,
home.
yes. So it will get better. You got to let yourself grieve and cry whenever you feel it, because there's still moments, of course, that you know, you hear a song, or I go through a part of town, or I get anywhere close to where her house is, and those moments are there. But you know why? Because we love deeply.
Yeah.
And if
I always say the greater the love, the harder it is to grieve someone. Especially when it comes to a parent.
But the love is worth it. And we're all going to see each other eventually
Yeah.
anyway. It's just the people that go first, the people left behind, we have to deal and continue for the reasons that we're here. We're meant to be here for a certain amount of time. I kid around, I say, we all have an expiration date stamped on our butts.
You're right. We don't know when it is, but it is there. God knows, but you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have to be here for the amount of time we have to be here.
I'll tell you why this moment means so much to me is because when my mother had a collapse last year in Orlando, she was at Disney and she collapsed. We flew to Florida right away. We were there. It was during COVID, one person at a time throughout the whole day, and she was she just had her surgery, her brain surgery, and it was my day to be with her. And I remember holding her hand, and I made different songs that I would play next to the bed, and your music was on there.
Oh,
and I would say, Mom, can you hear Gloria? Can you hear the song I'm playing? And she would squeeze my hand.
She heard.
She would squeeze my hand.
I guarantee
she was
hearing.
And then we had 10 months with her and we talked about you. And so I know when we were coming, I did a little prayer and I know she's looking down saying, oh, look at this.
She probably made this happen. Because when I
when
read your email.
Okay, wait, you go first.
When I read your email, I go, no, I absolutely have to do this for your mom because, not just for your mom, I mean, you're great at what you do.
Thank you.
But I knew that had something to do with your mom too.
Thank you so much. It was really cool. Your relationship with your mom, it's so beautiful because you were 2 years old when you came here to Miami from Cuba, and I think you flew Pan Airlines. Yep. And you only could bring one suitcase, and then when your mom got to the airport, they ripped her PhD in education and they told her she couldn't bring it here.
Yes.
Do you think that moment made you, as you got older, and your mom fight harder for your dreams and remind you that there isn't anything a woman can't do if they put their mind and soul to it, do you think?
Absolutely. And we had the most amazing example. My grandmother
your
was
abuela.
a woman way ahead of her time.
Yeah.
She was born in 1905. She wanted to be a lawyer as a kid. In Cuba, a woman, and they yanked,
that time?
They yanked her out of school when she was 9 years old because she had to go to work. They had 12 brothers and sisters. The Depression was hardcore all over the world, even in Cuba. And she helped her mom so much. They would iron and do things, but then her father, who was a chef to 2 presidents in Cuba, pulled her into the kitchen to help him, almost to sous chef.
Oh my God.
And she grew up in the kitchen, and when she got here, it served her well because she created a whole catering business.
Wow.
She was able to buy her home and do everything. My grandfather had like 5 heart attacks. He passed. She kept the business going and helped us. Took care of my dad when he became ill with Agent Orange poisoning when he came back from Vietnam. So we had this amazing example. And then my mom, in turn, had to raise 2 daughters without a husband because he was really ill. And I had to take on a lot of the duties of caregiver to him and my sister. So we've been kind of like women, fighting for everything we wanted to do. And they were an example. To me, it was never, there's anything I can't do because my grandma and mom did it all.
Look what they did.
And she saw it from her mom, so.
And you saw it from your
yes,
mom.
And I saw it from
Emily
my
sees
mom.
It from you.
Exactly.
There's something your abuela would say to you, and I love this. She would often say to you, I understand you want to go to school, and that's important that you do it, but you have a talent that came with you, and unless you share that talent with the world, you're never going to be completely happy. Was she right, Gloria?
She was right. And she told me, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to land in your lap, and I hope that you're smart enough to recognize it when it does. And that's exactly how it happened, because when I met Emilio, I was playing with a friend of mine.
Like 47 years ago you met Emilio.
Yes,
47 years ago.
47 years ago, May of 75.
Uh-huh.
And I had gone to a friend's house. He was getting a band together for one night.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look, there's a guy that works with my dad at Bacardi. He's got a band. He's going to come give us pointers. I was sitting on the floor. I'll never forget this.
What was he wearing?
The door opens, and he looked naked because he was carrying an accordion and had on very short shorts that his mother had made for him out of what looked to me like some upholstery from a couch, because it was this thick brown material. And I remember seeing this guy.
Oh my God.
He comes in, but to me he seemed like a man. You know, he had the mustache, no beard yet. I asked him to grow the beard because I loved facial hair. But he walks in, he meets us, he hears me sing, he hears us all do our thing. He goes, oh, you know, good. He played the accordion, he gave us some pointers, and he left. Then that summer, my mom drags me to a wedding, gets to the reception in Hialeah, the doors open, and to me it was this magical scene out of a movie. It was a twinkle lights, and there's a band, they're in tuxedos, and there's a guy playing Do the Hustle on the accordion. I'm going like, wait a minute, I know that guy. And I go, that's that guy that came. So we run into each other in a doorway, and he says, you're that girl
Wow.
that sang that day. I go, yeah. He goes, sit in with the band, sing a couple songs. And I go, what do you know? I go, well, I know old Cuban standards. Do you know? He goes, yeah, that's what we play. So I sang Sabor a mí en tu me acostumbraste, of course, got a huge ovation because they all knew me. Since I was a kid, I used to play guitar for these people and sing. And then that night, he says, hey, we don't have a lead singer. What do you think? I go, I can't. My mom will kill me, first of all. And I've got too much on my plate. He tracked me down 2 weeks later. And then I remembered my grandma's words. And when I told her, she goes, remember what I told you? But I decided to go for it because I remembered what my grandma said. And plus, I really wanted to.
It like changed your life. And when you think of that 17-year-old girl, you're sitting on the floor, you just graduated from Our Lady of Lourdes Academy, I believe.
Wow, you're good.
When you sit and you think of your life, Gloria, you think of all 47 years, you think of all of this.
Look at that.
This is just some of some iconic moments in your life.
Wow,
Could you
I'm
have
impressed.
ever dreamed of this at all?
You know what? As a kid, I always felt like I was going to do something very different with my life. I felt it. I was sure. I knew it was going to happen. But never could I have imagined everything that we've lived and all the dreams that we've made come true together, Emilio and I.
When I look at this, for me, honestly, I think of this moment because I know this is one of your fondest memory. March 1st, 1991. It was almost a full year right after that horrific bus accident you were in. It almost left you paralyzed. This inspires me when I look at it, and I see you have it over here too, these pictures when in Miami.
Yes.
What a moment and what a huge inspiration you are to so many of us because you didn't give up. You fought. You thought of your father being in that wheelchair and you said, you know what? I'm going to fight this. I don't care what these doctors tell me. And you look at your life now, here we are, in 2022, and I'm sitting with you and hearing your inspirational story is just, it's pretty amazing, Gloria.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you take it in. You can take that in.
I feel blessed. And that night, by the way, it was euphoric. It was the highest emotion I have ever felt in my entire life and probably will ever feel again, because it was the culmination of a year of excruciatingly hard work, a year coming from a moment that we were at the peak of our career, we were at our best moment, and 2 seconds later, after that crash, everything was devastation and darkness. And when we were being transported to New York from Scranton in the helicopters, Emilio kept getting this light in his eye. It was this gray day, and he went gray in 2 months. His hair, his beard, the whole thing. And he kept thinking, oh my God, when are we going to come out of this darkness? And he took a piece of paper and wrote the words "coming out of the dark" and stuck them in his pocket.
Wow.
In English. And Emilio, English was weird. So that night, all I remember really is when I came out on stage and pulled off that fencing mask. The energy in that Miami arena was, I can't describe it.
Only you know
Oh
what
my
that
gosh.
moment felt like.
It was just so incredible. I felt like I'd climbed Mount Everest. It was amazing. And every night of that tour, I would have 2 hours after the show seeing people that were coming to see me because they felt that it was so miraculous what I went through. They just wanted to touch me or talk to me or whatever. And that to me was even better than doing the show. And I remember one story. People had waited, a couple. We would put food out for them. There were tents. There was lines. People came in an iron lung once in hospital beds. And they patiently waited. And finally, when I go sit down with him and I go, listen, I'm sorry it's taken so long. And he goes, no. He goes, we just came to tell you a story. She had a shaved head and a huge scar. And he said, my wife was in an accident and she was in a coma for 4 months. And when I saw what you had done, I got the song "Coming Out of the Dark" and I would play it for her every day, every day, every day. And when she came out of the coma, she was singing the song. And I said, she came out of the coma to tell you, turn off that song, you're making me crazy.
She did not say, there's no way she said that. There's no way.
But I told him I was kidding. But things like that, to me, are mind-blowing, you know. And
Because it's the gift that you have that, you know, you sing and you never know who that's going to touch your song. You know, I mean, you have 38, I think you have 38 number one hits across the Billboard charts, which is like beyond
you know
amazing.
more about me than I
No,
do.
you still hold 100. We can go here through your whole list, okay? But I was telling Patrick, what do we do? Because she's got like 38 like number one hits. So like, what can we do? I have to talk about some of her songs. This is what we came up with. Okay, bring it, Patrick.
All right,
We
all right.
thought, okay, we're gonna do a little fun with you, okay?
Oh my gosh. Look
Okay.
at you. You're
Okay.
just so prepared.
Okay, so my husband created this. Okay, we're calling it the Sound of Gloria.
Talented thing.
So to paraphrase Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, these are a few of my favorite songs.
Oh
okay,
my
and then
gosh.
hold this just in case you need it.
right.
What you're gonna do? You're gonna spin the wheel, and whatever it lands, you're gonna tell me your favorite thing about that song. It could be a memory, or a performance, or a
Okay.
lyric, whatever pops in your head. Okay.
How did you? You are just too much. I
Look
love
how stunning you
Photoshop.
look. Look at you.
You killed it. Oh,
Oh my God. Okay, so
All
spin
right.
it whatever way you want, and then let's see what it lands on. Okay, first.
1, 2, 3. My favorite look ever in a video, those chaps, the plain white shirt and the jeans, and the boots. I could not have been more comfortable. We shot the video live in Hawaii, no, or was it LA? I forget where it was, but it was on a sound stage with an audience.
Yeah.
My favorite look of all time, those chaps.
That's
Absolutely.
so cool.
And so comfortable
I
to
bet.
perform, and I just felt like me. You
I mean,
know?
it's such a good video. Oh my God, it's such a good video.
I
Okay,
love
give it
that.
another spin.
All
Go ahead,
right,
let's see
here we
what we
go.
get next. We'll do it one more time after this. Okay.
Turn the beat around.
Oh my God.
Okay, you see that close up? I
Yes.
was 7, almost 8 months pregnant
With
when we
Emma.
shot this video.
Yeah, yeah.
So we needed a body double. And you see that mic, I
Yeah.
had to hold it really close for the close up. And that was Emily's favorite song in the belly. I should have known she was
She
going to
knew
be
it. Yeah.
a drummer at that point. So the monitor was so loud because there was a helicopter.
Yeah.
It was for the movie The Specialist.
Yeah.
And my album of covers.
my
And I got to meet Vicky Sue Robinson 2 weeks before she
did?
passed, which was the originator of Turn the
Right.
Beat Around. So the music was so loud that Emily kicked the mic stand out of my hands when I was shooting that video.
Oh my God, it was all meant to be, and that's why it's such a hit song. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's so
A lot of people think it's my song. Really, Vicky
It's okay.
Sue.
Just keep it like that. It's okay. Okay, do one more spin. Let's see what we got.
All right.
Let's see what we
Let's
got. What we got.
I love this game. Get on your feet. Well, that got thrown back at me by every fan writing me a letter after the accident
Wow.
because that album had just come out. We were touring on that album. And they said, Gloria, please, you've got to get on your feet. We wrote it on the tour bus. I wasn't a part of it. It was actually George Casas, rest in peace, my bass player and musical director, Clay Oswald, who is still my musical director,
With you.
and John DeFaria. And they wrote it on the bus while we were touring the previous tour. And it was just so organic. We were all on one bus. It was still, early days. And it's one of the songs that gets used most
Yeah.
to inspire people. And I love it for that reason
Yeah.
because, how many things do you have to go through in life? And the idea is you just get back up again.
Oh, you had a show on your feet, your Broadway show.
Exactly.
Get that, girl. Okay, just one more, conga. Because they play this at every single wedding. Went to a wedding a couple weeks ago. They played your song, and so it's like
The
that's some
Chipmunks have
Yeah.
done it. It's in every movie. It's been in every
Everywhere.
show.
It's so good.
And it's hotter than ever. They tell me that it's on TikTok.
It is. There's a whole thing of
I've
it.
done
People.
one TikTok because they tell me you have to do TikTok. So my first one was my grandson
Yeah.
in a clown suit
Oh my
doing a little medley on the dock of my house. I haven't been able to do anymore. I just don't have time.
It's okay.
It's hard enough to keep the Instagram.
You
Okay,
did-
conga.
You did good. Yeah, conga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We directed that video. It was shot across the street from Versailles, which is like the mecca of Cubans here. They go get cafecito, croquetas, at a place called the Copacabana. And it's supposed to be very tongue-in-cheek. And we didn't have a lot of budget. So all of it, if you look at the beginning of that video, the ambassador, the wife, that's Emilio's family. His father, his mother, his uncle.
Everyone from his side then.
From his side of the family. And then Lily, our niece from
Yep,
his
hello.
side, brought all her high school friends. She was a dancer. And she choreographed the thing.
Wow.
And we do a little bit of acting at the beginning of the original one where like they're dragging us up to play for an ambassador and we're going, no, it's not appropriate. And the whole idea is to show how it doesn't matter who you are or how stiff upper lip you are. conga's gonna get you, and you're gonna be up and dancing.
Yes, amen to that. Like,
Absolutely.
you're gonna keep this, and then when you see Emilio later, like Emilio, okay, you're gonna play this with Emilio. Like, tell me something that you love about me in this song, and then see what he tells you. Okay.
I get to keep
You're
this?
gonna keep this.
Oh,
Yeah. Give me
my
your.
gosh,
Like,
I
yeah.
love
You're
it.
gonna keep this. I want to go back and just before we end, talk about your family, because you talked about your grandson, who I know you love so much.
I adore
You
him.
have an amazing, talented son, and you have an amazing and beautiful daughter, Emily. And I want to say you guys did an episode on Red Table Talk de Estefan's where she talks about her coming out process, and it was so beautiful. And I remember in that she said to you, this is when she was testing to you and your husband about coming out. She said, "Guys, do you think I might be gay?" And you said only you can know that. And you guys did therapy, and now you're in such a beautiful place with your daughter. So what I want to ask you is that how does someone growing up in a Latino family, growing up Catholic, I grew up Catholic, an Italian family, how do you get to that place where you can just accept not only your daughter, but everyone in the LGBTQ plus community, because you always make it a safe place for us to come to, whether it's your show, watching a movie, on TV, doing an interview, you make it safe. How did you come to that place?
I was never not in that place. To me, it's not acceptance because I don't need to accept her. I didn't accept my son for being straight. You know, she is who she is, and I love her in every incarnation. And to me, love is love. Way before that was a phrase, I see us as spiritual beings having a physical experience, and spiritual beings, and like God, He's not going to be one thing or the other. A spiritual being is going to encompass every facet of life. Maybe in the physical world, you need male, female to procreate because that's the way it works, whatever.
Yeah.
But he forgot to even animals are bisexual. There's a plethora of animals, dolphins, and all that are bisexual. So to me, sex is just such a small part of who we are as human beings, and it's great. And I feel that everyone should really be able to love who they love. Who am I? As long as you're not hurting a child or doing something that is going to hurt another human being, why should who you love have anything to do with, like, why should I have a say in it? Why should anyone have a say in it? And the hardest thing in life is to discover your passion, what you really love, because a lot of times we're following these scripts that our family tell us or, that society tells you. That's hard to do. And also to really discover yourself. And it's a lifelong process. I hope to be learning till my last breath.
Yeah.
I hope to
we
be
learn
learning
something new every day. I love an episode
Absolutely.
when you told your daughter, you said this, and this is so beautiful. You said, "Do you want to carry the gay flag? Because if you want, I will get on that parade float with you and carry that flag." It made me so happy. You remind me of my mom because you're so gracious, so beautiful. And I have no regrets with my mom because she accepted me from the beginning, and she embraced my husband just like it was her own son. So when I see so many similarities. I mean, she couldn't sing like you, but
Listen, Em had a tough time because I think she really couldn't see, and I couldn't see at the moment because she wasn't telling me what was going on. But when she was about to come out, she was about to come out with an album, and that's when I told her that I go,
she's
listen.
so talented, such a beautiful
Oh my
singer.
God,
she's oh my God.
She's not just an incredible musician, artist. She paints, she does everything. She is a spiritually advanced soul. We used to call her La Viejita as a kid because she was just so wise and so in tune with nature and with the world but she's like her dad, and she's a fire sign. She's got very strong
I could see that
positions and opinions. And when she was about to come out, I was concerned that she not be ready to face what was going to come at her that moment if she suddenly came out with the record. And I wanted her to be sure that what she felt, but at the same time she was reading it as a different thing. And communication is the hardest thing that we as human beings go through because we don't share the same vocabulary in our brains. Communication is the number one issue I think we have as human beings. And for parents and kids, it's has a whole other, nuances and complications. And we're in a great place, and
that makes me
I'm always going to be there for her and my son and everybody. I just want them to be happy, and that's hard.
It's hard, but you know what? They have such an amazing mother. So what we want to do for you, because I'm like, Patrick, we got to do something special for
you
Gloria.
guys have so many
we got to do something special for Gloria.
Oh,
so
Lord.
We're giving an award to you, Gloria, okay? We're calling it a Spoonful of Paulo Proud Advocate and Ally Legend Award. Okay, so this is for
look
you.
at this beautiful.
That is for you. And there's a quote from your daughter. I want you to read it if you can. Yeah.
I pray for the day where we as a collective celebrate all of our differences like stunning ornaments on the tree of life. I know we all struggle on our journey of self, but only through the fire can we rise into ourselves, a lifetime journey of healing through the pain. Oh my gosh, you see how this little soul contributes? Oh my God, she's here in the studio.
Oh my God.
We're working today.
Oh, you guys are?
Yeah, so you need to meet her.
Okay. So
You need to meet her, and she needs to see what you've done.
thank you.
And
We just want you to take this.
gosh, thank you.
It is
You're
just.
so incredible. I have to put this right here in front of the wheel.
Yeah, put it in front of the wheel. Your
Oh my
collectibles.
gosh.
Okay? So that is
That is
for
just
you.
insane.
You look
I
so
love
good.
that so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. It is our way. You know, in this business, it's a really fast business. The people you meet come and goes. But I said this earlier, and I'll say it again. For me, sitting here with you means the world to me because you are such a gracious and beautiful woman, and you have such a beautiful heart. So for you to send me that email and to allow this to happen, all I say is thank you, and I will treasure this moment forever.
Oh my gosh, and as will I, and your mama.
Thank you.
I
There
thank
you go.
her because
Thank you.
She
She's
is-
here. I have this pin I always wear. So she's here with me, this pin that my husband made. So it was at our wedding.
that
It was
is
the mother and son dance.
beautiful. Oh,
in
what did you dance
2015.
to?
What song? It was Ed Sheeran. Yeah, and it was the same song we danced to, Thinking Out Loud. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
beautiful.
Conga came after.
Listen, you can't
We
dance.
couldn't do Conga.
You can't do Mother
You
and
can't do
Son
the slow
Conga.
song.
No,
My
no,
mom
no.
wanted to, but we couldn't. Yeah, my mom could have one,
Yeah,
or she could do 1, 2, 3, like whatever.
But
Okay.
that's an
Yeah.
emotional moment,
Yes,
and
yeah.
that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I'll share it. Having my parents,
gosh.
their gay son, they came from a small town in Italy. We got married in an Episcopalian church in Pasadena, and walking me down the aisle with both my mother and my father. I always tell people it may seem hard, but hold on to that, because if I can get married in a church, having Catholic parents, anything is possible for you.
That's
You have to
so
hold on to that.
beautiful. And here's something nobody knows. When we shot that
Yeah.
scene in Father of the Bride,
Yeah.
that Billy says
Mm-hmm.
to Ingrid, I want you to walk her down the aisle with me.
Oh yeah.
It threw me to the moment where I got married, and I thought to myself, why didn't my mom walk me down the aisle?
Wow.
Because at that moment, my dad was in the hospital. He was very ill, and I didn't want to replace him with anyone else, so I walked alone. And that moment just made me think, which is part of the reason I was crying there. I thought, why? Because traditions, cultural things that you say, oh no, this has to be this way. And I think to myself, why did neither one of us just say, Mom, you walk me down the aisle.
Yeah.
You've raised
Yeah.
me. You've been there for me. And there you go. I'm glad your parents did it for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought the same thing you, because
Barbara Waltered me. Oh my
I
God.
wanted this real quick to you because I remember, like, in the Catholic tradition that you have, the father, same thing,
Right.
walk the daughter. But for me, obviously, it's different. So my parents are probably like, what's going to happen? How is this going to work in this beautiful church? But I said to Patrick, why don't we just have our parents, like, walk us down? Like my mom, because there's two huge impacts in my life, and they're here. Like, other people still don't accept me for being
Right.
gay. Some relatives, they won't accept me, and that's okay. But I have the immediate family, and having my mom and dad walk me down the aisle is something, it's just like a heartprint that's left
Of
in my heart.
course.
Always. So yeah.
Your parents, they're
Yeah.
like, they bring you into this world.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
imagine. And
Thank you.
I know that a lot of LGBTQ plus
Yeah.
people go through hell because of that situation. And I pray a lot that people just be more accepting of everyone.
Open mind, accepting.
Accepting of everyone,
Yeah. I always say, if you don't want to be gay, don't be gay. Just
Exactly. Nobody's
leave us
forcing
alone.
you.
Nobody's forcing you to go meet a girl or a guy. Just
Eh.
like, leave us alone, please.
Exactly.
We just want to be treated
But
fairly.
imagine if they
equally.
told, if you're a heterosexual couple and
Yeah.
they tell you, oh no, you can't be with this
Yep.
person that you
Yep.
love.
Yep.
You have to marry somebody else
Yep.
because
It's so
we
true.
say it. It's like,
It's so true. Oh, okay. We got to, because Heather's like, wrap it up, Paolo.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
no, I'm just kidding. So I just want to say again, thank you.
Thank you,
This
Paolo.
day, like, I know
This
that
is
day
so
for you, March
special.
1st, 1991 is something you're going to hold on. But today's date for me, when I go home and write in my journal, is something I'm going to hold on to the rest of my life.
oh,
So
and me
thank you.
too. It's been really special. And look at this.
Love you guys.
Oh my
Okay.
God. You made me cry with this. You made me cry with telling you that story.
I don't mean to, but I'm so sorry. But
You
yeah.
impressed me with this amazing
I told you, you're this you and Emilio tonight. You spend
Oh,
this,
no,
and let
no,
him
no,
see
no.
what he remembers from each
Oh
of
no,
these
we're
videos.
using definitely for some game,
Okay.
family game.
Okay,
for
there
sure.
we go. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
want to say
Thank you.
thank you again. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Dream big. because if I can be sitting here standing next to this legend and icon, you can be sitting to who knows who's sitting next to someone. So thank you. I love you all, and thank you, Patrick. And this is such a moment.
I love you too. And you've sat with plenty of legends.
Okay, but yeah, this is a legend. Okay, this is a
Come
legend. Esta aquí es un número uno que me gusta mucho.
Whoa! Oh, baby, that was amazing.
Thank you. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Gloria, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you coming all this way. Where do you live?
we live in Chicago.
Oh,
we live
okay.
in LA.